Good evening, everyone. It is Sunday night, and pretty amped up still about Saturday, or not Saturday, I guess it was Friday's show with the announcement of the opening of the CB4K Comic Books for Kids show. So if you guys missed that, please go back and watch that. It's a big deal for me that I am now in charge of offering t-shirts that are the official t-shirts of CB4K. So you guys can check that show out, and there's links for the shop and everything in there. So we're going to talk about the sponsors real quick. We got Melone Management with Lisa Melone. You have a project that's running or a Kickstarter or any type of project that you're going to be launching in the future, get a hold of Lisa. She can help you out. She can take care of all the work behind the scenes while you keep cranking out your project. I'll also have 183 Degree Studios with Alfred Trujillo, Doobie Doobie Doo, and Miss Kara Nicole, AZ Power Girl. Check out their stuff. There you got the link to the website and the link to their Patreons in the description of the video. We also have Codex Entertainment LLC with Mark Torres, who'll be launching Lily the Demoness Chapter 5 sometime this summer, as well as Nebula Pearl, which is funded back in March. We also have Naughty Faeries Super Assassins number 5, just funded on Kickstarter. We'll be funding here soon, so there's only a little bit of time left. If you haven't backed it yet, hit that link in the comments, or not the comments, in the description, and check it out before it's too late. I think there's like an hour left on it, so you better check it out. We also have Outpost 426 with CB Zane and Michael Shoemaker. They'll be launching Black Bunny later on this year, but right now they'll be launching Mighty Might number 1, so keep your eyes peeled for that. That is launching sometime next month. The pre-launch link is up. I will be adding that for Tuesday's show. And last but not least, we got DPopp Customz. Do you have a print that needs to be jazzed up and add all the cool lights and all the fun stuff where you can hang it up on the wall and get it out of the box and blow the dust off of it? Hit up DPopp Customz. He also does action figures as well as other stuff. You got some ideas, hit him up, and he will take care of you. So without further ado, we're going to bring out our guests tonight. We got Mark Torres.
Hello. What's going on?
No, it's another day. And we've got Jenny.
Jen,
hello.
We can't hear you.
You're muted.
Oh, hello. Okay.
Hello. And we've got Charlie.
Hey,
Senior
fun
correspondent,
seekers.
Chalicina.
Hey, you interrupted my hello to everybody.
Well, I was trying to give you your big title. Everybody gets a title. You got a title.
Yeah, well, your title just interrupted my thing. I never liked you, Mark. Never mind.
Wow. The drama started already.
The drama started already. Charlie's bringing out the big guns, man. I never liked you, Mark. What are you doing the show? Just get out of here. Bye.
How are you?
We're doing good. I'm doing good. So how are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. Little slice of heaven.
Little slice of heaven.
I'm keeping it positive.
Just planting. You keep it. What'd you say, Mark?
I'm keeping it positive. So we're alive. So yay.
Yay.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters. You're alive. You made it through another day. You're still kicking. Through the craziness. It's been nuts around here for me, but we're making the best of it. So it happens. So it came from the radio. I don't really know a whole lot about you guys. I know, Mark, you've popped in on a couple of the shows that I've done before, and so I wanted to bring you guys on and talk about a little bit what you do.
It Came from the Radio is the official show of the Big Apple Con. Big Apple Con is the oldest running convention in New York City, run by Michael Carbonaro. Our show started in 2003, which would be the first episode was February 14th, I believe, or the week after when Daredevil came out, the first Daredevil movie.
Uh-huh.
And we had an actual radio show, and throughout the years, we've been on and off for, 18 years now. Our senior correspondent, Charlie Saladino, joined us about 11 years ago, and our newest member, Jen Elise Selby, she joined us last year.
Right before the pandemic, basically.
Yeah. So we talk about movies, entertainment, pop culture, but we focus more on the independent as opposed to the mainstream, because whenever there's any type of coverage, you always get the big stuff. But there's so many other creators out there that no one pays attention to and no one talks to. If you ever go to any convention, you can see the place is full of talented people that no coverage has. So I decided that we will take the show in that direction. Of course, we have had our big name celebrities on as well. If you're a Buffy fan, we've had Amber Benson, We've had Mark Hamill as a guest. William Shatner has been a guest. What was the other one? Oh, Amy Jo Johnson. If you're a Power Ranger fan, she's been on the show. We do, like I said, we have our fill of big names, but I try to make sure we focus on the little guys.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, that's pretty much what I like to try to do is, you try to hunt out these guys that have awesome projects that, you never even heard of. And that's the fun of it, is bringing them on and learning about, their inspirations, what made them want to get into comics or movies, or, some of the stuff that they've done, and, how they got there. Because that's always the stories that you want to hear, the inspirational things. Because not everybody falls into success. Not everybody is successful. But sometimes these people get successful and they have this story that no one's ever heard. And it's like, man, you had it rough, but you still persevered and you made it through.
Yes, exactly. When we've been on the show for such a long time, there has been people who started off as just some regular guy we've met and then have gone on to bigger and better things over all these years. It's quite an amazing thing to see some guys that we just met. Oh, just some guy with a table. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years later, like, hey, I remember you. And now he's a big movie star or a big actor. And he has a big project. It's really cool.
And the great part is they always remember us. And, they always thank us for getting them on in the early stage, which is always a thrill for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's better than Sam Vera, having the kid who played the little Boba Fett. He walks up to him and he's like, oh, well, if you know anything about Star Wars, you might like this book.
Yeah.
I'm still cracking up about that story. That's funny. But so what are some of the recent things you guys have, had on, or what do you have coming up that you're going to be talking about?
Well, Jen, why don't you tell us what's coming up on this week's show, your big interview you had?
The Conspiracy Horsemen?
Yes, that is airing this week.
Yes, we had the Conspiracy Horsemen. They are wrestlers that are also truthers, and they get kicked off the internet recently due to the current censoring. So they talk a lot about conspiracy theories, hence Conspiracy Horsemen, from the Titanic, 9/11, COVID stuff. Very interesting and very opinionated, lots of thoughts, and it's pretty enlightening. So I like listening to them, and they're also, they're go-getters as wrestlers. They're people that are into fitness and health and working out. They're not part of this victim mentality crowd. They're doing a lot of stuff. So I find them very inspiring, and I met a few in person. So I interviewed them, and they have the second most cursing out of any interview on It Came From the Radio.
Yes, that is right. That is right. Second highest. Our senior correspondent was present for the first highest. Do you remember that, Charlie?
Yes, I do.
That was so. Our before this happened, I would say before the past year, the most cursing we ever had was like 2 curses on the show for an hour long.
Wow.
And then we had an interview with Christopher Kamen Lee, is the not Mighty Morphin, is the Power Ranger in Space Red Ranger. And he had about a half-hour interview with him, and he cursed about 34 times. So yeah, that was quite interesting.
I just listened to parts of that. I didn't find it offensive.
I just said he was cursing. I didn't say it was offensive. I just said he was cursing.
Yeah. I didn't find it problematic.
Yeah, I thought he was very expressive.
Yeah,
it was probably a really great in-depth interview. I really liked it, but I'm just saying that it's cursing, and since we are an actual radio show, and you can't have cursing on an actual radio show because there's a $10,000 fee assigned to that.
Wild.
So
that's crazy.
So you're listening to the show. It's like, well, my name is beep 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 beep, and then I was beep.
Yeah, but luckily,
that's such a racket though.
Luckily, we are online also, so we can put the explicit, unedited, the uncensored version online, but over the air.
Yeah.
And actually, Jen and I came up with something for the curses. So Jen says "but." So now we have a censor word, which is just "but." So anytime there's a curse, Jen will just say "but."
But
but
it's so button crazy.
Yes, exactly. I feel sorry for the editor.
Yeah, you mother butter. I guess that would be right.
So Danny wants to know: is it 10K per word or 10K for the whole show?
I was
It's
just
10
going to ask that.
It's $10,000 per complaint. So what happens is you go on if you're actually on the air like a television show or a radio show, and somebody listens to it and they get offended because there's cursing, they call the FCC and complain, and the FCC does their investigation. And if they say, "Oh yeah, there was something cursing," then they get fined. That's how it works.
Wild.
So if no one complains, it's fine. But there's always that understanding that somebody's going to complain.
Oh yeah, you mean like the
Messed
Janet
up.
Jackson nip slip during the halftime
Yes.
show?
Yeah.
There was like
Yes.
hundreds of people complaining, so I'm sure they had like over $1 million fine.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who are not complaining.
Yeah.
It actually. Go ahead, Charlie.
No, I said in this day and age, years ago, you didn't have to worry a lot about it. You could just hide it. But now, these days, everybody gets offended with something or other. So you got to watch it. Yeah.
I was
Is
gonna
it
bring up.
though? Are people really offended, or is it just internet people being offended? Or in real life, are they being offended?
I think it's, everybody's looking for their 15 minutes of fame or, whatever it is. And, and some people have a legitimate gripe, but then you get all those crazies that just, I'm offended by the word or something like that. And it gets ridiculous.
Do you guys remember the show Married with Children?
Yes, with
Yes.
Peg and Al Bundy. Yep.
Yes, and the famous story about how that show got to be so popular is that there was one episode, I believe it was the episode when the girls had the period, when they all synced up and they went to the cabin, and this lady was watching it and she got offended for her children. And this is back, pre-internet. So
Wow.
she took a notepad and she wrote down every sponsor that was on Fox for that show. And she contacted them and she's like, "Hey, I'm offended with this show. How dare you? I'm going to boycott your product." And then the news media got wind of it. And so the news media was like, "This lady is doing a boycott on this show." And the thing is, no one had heard of that show except for me. I used to watch it religiously. And so it made people watch the show to find out why it was so offensive. And that's how it became so popular.
Wow, that's interesting.
And that show went on for another, I think, 10 years. The show lasted 12 years. So I think it was the second year. So if not for that lady complaining, the show would not be as big as it was and groundbreaking as it was at the time.
Well, that's just like Roseanne too, and then it comes back and, she messes up and she gets canceled. And I think the funniest thing ever when I was listening to the radio, we used to have the Woody and Riz show for 105.7 The Point here in St. Louis. And Woody moved and now it's just the Rizzuto show. I think Woody does radio out in LA or somewhere around there. Somewhere he went out west. But they had somebody that was calling and bitching about the radio show. And so they told her that she could call in. So she called in and she just was, as they label, a regular Karen. And she was just going off. And Woody's like, "Hold on, you got really bad static. I can't really hear you." He's like, are you close to a tower or are you out in the woods? And he was just dragging it on. And he kept telling her, "We can't hear you." He's like, you try something. Try telephonic mineralization. And she's like, "What's that?" And he's like, "What you need to do is get you a bowl of water." And she's like, "Okay." So she goes and gets a bowl of water. And he's like, "All right, now just drop your phone in it and soak it real good. And it should help out the signal." And she did it. And so they sued the radio station. It was one of the biggest stories. But she sued the radio station. And Woody was like, "This is the funniest shit ever," because he's like, if you're stupid enough to drop your phone in water thinking it's going to give you better reception, then you deserve it, And it was hilarious. But they got in a lot of trouble.
That's a great cleansing, like eugenic cleansing thing. Just give people this test, and if they fall for it, see you later.
Bye. Yeah. Well, she didn't call back, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, she couldn't. Number one, the phone was yeah. But wow, that's amazing.
So, do you have anyone that's offended by your show, Russell? Have you offended anyone this year?
Not that I know of. I mean, if I have, nobody's said anything. So I don't
Okay.
know. I'm sure I offend several people sometimes by saying something, you know.
Well, Russ, they've been calling me, and I'm pretty damn mad about it. No, I'm just kidding.
That's all right, Charlie. You're fired. No, I'm just kidding. You're no
All right.
senior correspondent for me anymore. No, I'm just
Yeah, there you go.
You can be pissed off all you want. I love to offend.
Isn't your hat's offensive to some, Charlie? Right? What is that? America hat? Is that a flag hat?
That's a veteran's hat.
Oh, okay.
I'm very into the vets and all that, so I donate to them, and they give me
Very
stuff
nice.
like this hat, so which says freedom is not free, so on, so on, so on. You know, but it's my whole big thing. We don't get political, so
Yeah.
it's I like the vets.
And
When
so,
you're a vet all the way.
and so by offensive, I don't think we can offend anybody any more than the show that we had with turkey slapping. I had no idea what turkey slapping is. And,
I don't know what it is.
I do not know what it is either.
That's
Yeah,
bad.
so you're gonna love this. So I do a show on Saturdays. I haven't done it for the last few weeks because I'm in the middle of fulfillment, and we've had some family emergencies and just so much stuff going on. And I'm like, I can't handle doing any extra show on Saturdays, so I'm gonna take Saturday nights off. But it's been probably about a month ago. We had, I have Blue Balls Reviews is what it's called, and it's a huge joke. So so about a year ago now, we had a show. It was Wendy Steen Shaner and Christina Haggerty, and we were like rolling on, talking about blowing shit up and having a good time. And we started talking about this story about we did this shoot for a pyrotechnic show where the blue balls shoot across this field where these cows are because the box blew apart. The tubes laid out. They were already lit. So they just start shooting out into this field of cows and exploding. And, of course, no cows were hurt, so nobody get upset about it. And so the next day, Danny D, who's in the audience, drops this set of cow balls hanging on a barbed wire fence on my page. And it looks totally realistic. So to one-up it, Christina Haggerty, who's an artist, pulls it off of my page, adds a blue glow around it, and then puts it back on my page. So, we had a good laugh about it. It kind of died down, and everybody, talked about this show for months. And then, Heather with Comics and More Chaos was like, hey, I'm going to start having people do reviews on books. And I was like, well, why don't you ask me to do it? I read a lot of books. I do a lot of the Kickstarters. I want to help support some of these indie creators by showing off their stuff. And she's like, okay, well, what do you think you're going to call the show? And so I took the picture that was put on my page, and I turned it into Blue Balls Reviews, Comic and Book Talk. And I was like, I got the perfect name, too. I'll be Harry Sachs. That's going to be my screen name.
Oh, man.
And so
It's very Jewish.
And so we... we were reading this book, and it's from this Australian guy, and we were trying to work out a show because my 8:00 on Sunday was noon on Monday. And so we were like, I don't know how we're going to make this work, but I'll do a review on your book. So we did a live read of it, and we're reading through, and this guy's like, am I going to get a gun, or am I just going to go in and turkey slap everyone? And I'm like, what the hell is turkey slapping?
Right.
So I got, a couple of guys in with me, and I Google it, and, it comes up, and it's basically what we call mushroom stamping. And so we're reading this live on the air, and we're talking about it. So, I'm sure that show offended a ton of people, but,
mushroom stamping as your explanation didn't quite explain to me what turkey slapping is. Now I need to know what mushroom stamping and turkey slapping are, and I don't know what either of them are.
I'm sticking with Jen on this one. Charlie, do you know?
No.
He's gonna plead the fifth on this one. So basically,
maybe should we look it up, or are you gonna give us another obscure reference?
Well, you got to realize, senior correspondent, back in the day, I had a lot of experience with mushrooms, but not stamping them.
Right. Mushroom stamping.
Yeah. So basically, the concept is whipping it out and smacking somebody upside the head with it.
Oh.
So that is the Aussie slang term for doing that. Basically the opposite of teabag, you're just smacking them over the face with it. So
Ooh.
Okay.
So here we are, we're reading this book and no clue what turkey slapping is, and we went off on like an hour-long segue of we just couldn't get past it. We were laughing so hard, and it ended up turning into a 3-hour review on a 25-minute book.
So someone was offended by that phrase?
I guess, I don't know.
Well, you really can't catch a turkey to slap it. They're so quick. So it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's hard to shoot turkeys. It is.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think I hear what's his name saying, "What's the matter? You can't slap a little turkey, Rocky? What's the matter?"
Well, I just thought it was funny because this guy's like, and then so they made it even funnier because this guy's like, either give me a gun or I'm going to go in and I'm going to dick smack everybody that's in this building. Because they're like getting ready to raid this house to try to save what they think is his sister there. And then she's not there. But yeah, we have all kinds of crazy shit going on the show. It's always off the rails. So you never know what's going to happen. As Danny said, oh no.
Yeah, Danny said.
We just lost the rails.
Yeah.
Good.
I think the last thing I've ever apologized for on it came from the radio, and Mark will remember this. He's minute I say it, he's going to remember it. Mark does a segment with the news right before the show. Then we take a break and come back with our guests. So Mark was doing this story about the last living munchkin with a speaking line, and the Wizard of Oz has passed away. Has passed away. So before we went to break, I said, Mark, what character he played? He says he played the Undertaker without skipping a beat. I said, is he really, really, really dead? Like that. And I was like, oh my God. Mark was like looking at me like, and I'm looking like, what? I thought that was brilliant,
Very, yeah.
And which the line is she really, truly, whatever, dead. But Mark, we went to break. Mark said, I can't believe you said that. The guy's dead. And you said, and I'm like trying to say, well, I want the people to know what role he played. I'm trying to.
Right.
And so, I thought that was pretty good. But when we come back, I actually apologized for it and said, no, I did use that. I wanted the people to know what role he was, in. If nobody on this planet watched The Wizard of Oz, I figured I'd help him out. But I did apologize for that.
I actually have become desensitized to people making fun of the dead people on the news because our very own Jenna Lee Feldy, she does that quite well.
I mean, my attitude is when I die, if in a loving way, without hate, I love jokes. And however people can get some pleasure and jollies out of my existence, that's great. And my attitude is also save money, just throw me out back. So, that's how I feel about my own self. So it's kind of hard to put on a pearl necklace and a dress and say, say some weird thoughts and prayers, nonsense. I realized I could curse, so I was a little tongue-tied.
That was
I get
nice.
a little tongue-tied.
I saw the censorship went off in your head, and then you realized you didn't have to, and then you just went. Very nice.
I get tongue-tied on any show. I have to censor myself, so I sound like I'm just learning the English language because I am. And then I'm like, oh wait, I can talk like I normally do because I can fucking curse. Fantastic, thank you. Yeah. See, now it just rolls right out.
Yeah, you got the green light. The switch is flipped. Boop.
Well, Margaret Hamilton, the lady who played the Wicked Witch in The Wizard of Oz, she one time on Johnny Carson, she was talking about death, and she says, I hope when I die, because she had the same outlook as you, Jen, said, I hope when I die, somebody has the good grace of saying, ding dong, the witch is dead.
Really?
So she felt the same way about that.
That's funny.
That's true. That's good old Margaret. She was a great lady.
My
Anyway,
filter's like a gasoline in a Ziploc bag. Well, I hear, Danny D, I hear that's a common thing these days, so don't be buying any more dime bags of gasoline, all right?
Oh, right.
wow, look at that.
Yeah, gas prices are up. I wonder when it's going to go down. And that's what
Hey,
she said.
I don't know. I hear, I hear
Oh, I know.
that,
I know the answer, but we're not political.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
No.
you could say it in a way that's
Never.
not, maybe.
They're never going to go down, but I hear
Really?
that styrofoam coolers are a great place to store your gasoline. So, if plastic bags aren't working for you, just hit up a styrofoam cooler. I would love to see people just randomly making napalm without knowing it.
Well, that's another excuse not to leave my house. I'm not going to get vaccinated so I can avoid destination weddings and any place I don't want to go to. And now, gas, I can't afford gas.
I can't
Sorry.
go to work, man. Sorry,
Can't
I'm just
go.
going to stay home.
Yeah, I got to work from home today. Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
With all the windy days we had, I just put a sail on my car and saved a lot on my gas. Just let it go.
That's great. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, it's true.
Charlie's great. He's very, very original ideas.
So do you have
That's
to
it.
apologize a lot, Charlie? Is this?
No. I'm very good. I just keep my mouth shut. It's
Where's the fun in that?
I know there's no fun in that, but we need to have like a Family Guy, the censored version, and then he puts out the uncensored version. We need to have a show like that. Me and Jen will go like crazy. Jen will beat me out, but we would feed off each other like crazy. It would be,
I hope one day we have less censorship going on. I mean, media is changing so fast. So I'm really curious where we're going to be in 10 years or even 6 months from now. I mean, someone asked me if I interviewed anyone famous, and I said, well, the fame is changing very fast, due to the internet. So I wonder how people are going to be considered famous in 10 years. Are they going to be winning Oscars and Grammys? Are they going to be on TikTok or YouTube? What's fame?
Yeah, because everybody has a camera now, and people do shows on pretty much anything and everything you can think of. I mean, you got a lady on, Patreon that makes $30,000 a month acting like a dog. So, I mean, there's something for everyone.
Oh, wow.
Wow. And I thought Dr. Pimple Popper was out there. Wow.
Oh, no. It popped up on my newsfeed. That was one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
You and me both. That popped up on my, no pun intended, but that came up on my thing. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Dr. Pimple. What did I do? I went right to Dr. Pimple. See what it's about. So it's like I watched, I went, all right, that's it. Click. Wow.
Well, we actually have the Patreon for you, Jen, right? What was it, 15,000?
14, I believe. 14 is more affordable, so we went with 14, not 15. I believe.
And what do you get? Do you remember?
Yeah, you get a free workout, right? One free workout with me, and a meal.
I gotta look it up.
You know what? I forgot. This is how much of a saleswoman I am. Not at all.
We haven't mentioned it in a long time, but let me see.
No, we haven't.
Okay,
You're right.
Here we go. This is the official. You get a day with co-host Jenelise Feldy, consisting of 2 prepared and cooked meals, along with the recipes by and from her Keys to Live the Life guidebook, a personal training workout session for you and a friend at her personal gym, in addition to all other perks.
Yep. So that's what I tell people anytime people say, oh, can I come over for a meal, or we got to work out together. I said $14,000. It came from the radio first.
Yeah. Here's my Patreon. Hit it up. And they're like, oh, this is never happening.
Because that's part of Jen's thing. She's a nutritionist, a health guru, in addition to being an actress, producer, writer, comedian, model. What else is there?
Health counselor, writer, makeup artist. I'm a licensed makeup artist. I'm an artist too, but I don't do it anymore. This is a painting of my dad, actually. I just happened to be walking by this. So I used to do, paint art, but that doesn't really help anyone. After Hurricane Sandy, I was like, why am I going to do paintings? Because what if the house just blows away? Really? Just tangible stuff. I'm not really into making tangible stuff. So yeah, everything I do is kind of digital or for people's health.
So you're going to start making NFTs?
Making what? Oh, maybe. You know what? You never know. I still don't get it. Do you get NFTs, Russell? Are you into this whole Bitcoin world?
So we had a show that was like for a project, and Trish Bankston totally derailed the show by saying, "Hey, you should bring up NFTs." I had no idea what it was, and so I'm like, "All right." So Trish says, "Let's talk about NFTs," and he's like, "Oh yeah, you can get these sports cards, but you don't really have a card. You get a digital one, or like from a comic book artist, you get a commission." Or this painting, you're like the only one in the world that owns it, and it's like this digital thing, but it doesn't really exist. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, what?
Are you high? Like, wait a minute. So I'm going to spend $5,000 for.
Continue.
So I'm going to spend $5,000 for this painting that's digital, but it's a digital thing, and like it's supposedly I'm the only one in the world that's going to own this. Like I don't get it. Like somebody could hack that, and there'd be 50 million copies of it. Now this painting that you paid all this money for is worth nothing. I don't get Bitcoin either. Like,
it's like buying a piece of the moon. You own a star or something like that. That's what's
right.
Yeah.
One of my comedian friends has a joke about the stars. I don't get it.
There you go, Jen. He wants you to send him an NFT.
Who's that?
Danny D.
Danny D? All right, I'll try to figure it out. So this is how all my work gets started. Someone asked me, and then I say, someone wants this, so let me figure out how to do it. So that's how I've done anything, my guidebook, my workout classes. So maybe I'll get into NFTs, Supply and demand, baby.
Yeah. You're gonna send them this NFT. It's gonna be a file of like a workout, but you can't really access the workout, and it's like this exclusive, never before seen yoga move, and only Danny D will be the only one that has access to it.
I'm going to send you NFT garlic sprouts and onion sprouts
from
someone's garden.
That's awesome.
I'll eat them myself, but he gets the NFT version. Very good for your blood cleansing. That's very good. Natural antifungals, antivirals.
Now that's
Love it.
scary. Like literally, Trish, I just mentioned your name, and your ears must have been burning.
Hi, Trish.
Hi, Trish. We were just talking about NFTs, and I was asked if we ever talked about that on the show. Remember when Jason Lennox was on and we talked about NFTs for an hour? I don't get it. I just think it's ridiculous. And that's one of the things that Topps was doing with the basketball cards is they were making them all NFTs now. Like I get it. Everybody has a bajillion trading cards from way back when. They've been collecting them for years, and they take up a lot of space. They get dirty. They get dusty. Your house floods. You lose it. But just imagine you have this computer with all these NFTs on it, and your hard drive crashes. Guess what? You just lost your collection, and
no way.
Boom, like that. I don't know if you can even get a backup of it or anything.
Well, the question is, how do you, at least with collectibles? I mean, we make fun of collectibles all the time on our show when you put the stuff in the when you slap the comics, because then you can't enjoy it. So. At least you put it up there and you can put it on the wall. Hey, look, I have this item here. Take a look at it. You can see it. But the NFT is like, hey, you have to come to my computer to look at it.
Oh, you mean
exactly?
You mean like this NFT right here?
That's an NFT. What is that?
That is a graded comic book, 9.9. It's probably one of the highest graded.
Yeah, it's a Steph Wilson cover.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
It's like a bunny.
But at least you see, you hold it up, and you show it to somebody. But with an NFT, how are we supposed to even see that you have it?
I feel like you're in a duck blind, right?
Danny, so take a screenshot and you can save that and put it in with your other NFTs, and then one day, maybe it'll accrue interest or something. It'll be worth millions.
There you go.
Here's Jen just hanging out with some onion sprouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hunting wabbits. I'm looking for wabbits.
I'll go wrestle the alligator while Jen stays in the Everglade.
Yeah. I like to be surrounded by greenery. It makes me feel good.
Only if you can smoke it, though, right?
No, I'm not going to smoke this.
No.
But I am going to smoke sage. I do have fresh sage. I'm going to dry out, and I don't know. People say clear stuff. It smells good. Whether it's placebo or not, I like the idea of cleansing the day. It's kind of nice.
Sage.
Fresh sage.
See, Sage is supposed to clear out all the bad spirits and all the bad juju in the room, so she's got to do that because of all the jokes she makes about the obituaries. So,
Yeah,
so
right?
they don't come back and haunt her. That's what it is, right?
I ran away from a fan. He's probably not listening, but I did have someone I actually ran away from. So there's a lot of people that do scare me out there. One of my comedian friends saw me. He knew what I was doing, but someone came to one of my events and asked to take a walk with me after, walk me to my car. I said, no, I'm okay, thanks. I just ran out the door and sprinted to my car. I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. So sage that.
Thank God, because the last time we were at the factory and we saw your comic thing,
Yeah.
I saw you on the streets. I was going to go, you need a ride. You would have ran away from me.
Not from you. Not from you.
I know. I'm just
No.
kidding. Yeah.
No, but to someone I just met that day
No, I know. Yeah.
who's staring at
That's-
me the entire show while other people are performing.
Yeah. That's
Eh.
like stalker scary.
Hey, I don't know, man. World is a little scary.
It is.
That's
It's
why I'd
crazy.
rather be a man. I really do envy men for that reason.
Jen, you could take care of yourself, though, Jen.
Yes, but pound for pounds, 130 is 140 compared to 200. Doesn't matter.
That's-
Doesn't matter.
That's why you carry a gun.
True.
And that's why you hide in the onion sprouts and you're like,
Right.
you pretend like you're in the
Yeah.
Everglades at all times. You're like, oh, look at that chick over there, man. Oh,
Where's-
shit. She's surrounded
Smell
by
like
alligators.
Yeah.
Smell like onions, smell like garlic. That definitely keeps a lot of people away. I'm known to do that. And then the age-old just shit in your pants. That's what they say. They tell old people to do that. They tell old people that's a real thing. I thought about that, but I can't shit on demand.
I know you. I know that's a real thing.
Yeah, and I'm
That's-
upset
yeah.
that I can't do it. Like, I feel like that's a skill we all need to work on as we get older and can't defend ourselves. We should work on
Yeah.
shitting on demand.
Shit on demand.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think HBO has a channel for that.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Welcome to HBO.
Oh,
Our newest
boy.
channel is shit on
Oh my
demand.
God, Jen. You just opened a plethora of ideas in my head. On demand.
I'm all about
Follow-
safety and health.
Bodily functions on demand. Could you imagine that book? Oh,
Well, actually,
God.
you can kind of get demand a morning bowel movement. That's something that you can, a lot of people can do. But, an offender comes, I don't know.
Welcome to MBM Studios. Morning
Yeah.
bowel movement.
On demand.
On demand now.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's like MGM, only
That's
better.
But Jen can
That's
say
fine.
stuff like that because she's professional. She's a professional.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
I feel like
I'm a
Mark,
reverend.
All right, so I'm reading the chat.
I'm
so-
a reverend. Anyway,
Yeah, actually, that's right. Charlie is ordained.
that,
We should do joint weddings.
it's
And it
it's
was-
from the Church of Turkey Slapping for All. I don't know.
Wait, Danny D.
yeah, he said, I had
Why?
a lady shit on demand in my front lawn before, so the cops wouldn't take her.
Cops would take
So the cops wouldn't take her.
Yeah, so they wouldn't take her.
That's pretty smart. I mean, I don't have
There
the
you
balls
go.
to do that, but
All right, so let's see. So I'm reading the chat. So Danny D says, Poison Ivy cosplay, Sage outfit. I don't think she knows who Poison Ivy is. And now
I
you're
know
frozen.
who Poison Ivy. I know who she is. I know who
You're
she
frozen
is.
sideways. Oh, there you are.
I
You do know
wanted to
Poison
share.
Ivy.
I wanted to share the show on Facebook. I never got to do it, so
Oh.
I was trying to do.
Oh, I
it.
totally
I'll do it.
missed that
I'll do it a
comment.
different way. No,
So
I know
you-
who Poison Ivy is, of course.
Okay, because sometimes we throw out celebrities and you're like, I don't know who that is. So
You're
I
right.
didn't know
You're
if you
right.
knew
You're
who-
right. But that's
I-
like old
I went
school.
with the same.
Jen,
Yeah,
when you move, put on a woolen cap because it looks like the Blair Witch Project.
I know. I'm sorry. I
No,
don't
don't
have
be
the-
sorry. I just
Are you guys getting nauseous at all? Is it
I'm not.
bothering you?
no.
And Trish says to ask
I'm
everyone
gonna-
to introduce themselves again.
I'm gonna
Oh.
puke on demand.
So,
That's a skill. Self-defense.
That's a skill like anything else, right?
so Trish, I am Mark Torres, host of It Came From Radio, the official of the Big Apple Con. We have our senior correspondent Charlie Saladino and our very own from DLifeWithGenergy.com, Jenna Lee Feldy. There you go.
Hello.
and I'm D's nuts. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's Russ's show. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, I love how quiet Mark has been the whole time. I'm like almost worried that
Well, I don't curse normally, So that's just
He
I got
curses
I got nothing to
abnormally.
add.
I
Yeah.
respect it. It's very rare to find someone who doesn't curse. I don't think I know anyone who doesn't curse.
Yeah, something that that's always been how I've been growing up. So no cursing.
Yeah.
And it's funny,
I-
Charlie and I are the reverends, and we're the ones who
Yeah.
have things to say, you know?
Exactly. You're on fire, Russ. What the hell's happening?
Hey
Oh,
man, this show's going up in smoke.
There you go. But yeah, I left a nice little note for a couple that I married. They were friends of mine. They weren't getting back to me on the vows, so I left the nastiest note with probably every curse word. No, I knew them. They were my friends.
Oh,
Every curse word you can have, and I signed off. Love the minister. You know.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Love
funny.
the
I
minister.
like that.
No, we were friends. I wouldn't do that strange. Yeah.
Like, you believe this Charlie guy? He wrote us this note, and he's like, love the minister. Like,
Yes.
nothing happened.
Oh my God. You have to hear some of my friends, the greetings we have. And then we get, after these obscene greetings, we get right into the conversation. It's like second nature. So,
We couldn't get a hold of him, Danny. We tried calling him before the show. Something might be going on. So
that's Pronto Comics Dominic Sperano, editor in chief of Pronto Comics. He is our fourth co-host.
And our definition man.
Yes, Dominic Definition Man.
There you go.
So yeah, no, we can have 10 people on here, but yeah, unfortunately, we weren't able to get a hold of them. So it happens.
Yeah, so we're going to lack a lot of comic know-how talk. Well, Charlie's very knowledgeable, but I'm not. I can talk about health and comedy.
But you know Poison Ivy, so you're ahead of the game right now.
Oh, okay.
You're much more. Let me tell you something. As far as comics go, not the guy to talk to. I'm more the B movies, the horror movies, the old,
Right.
And then every once in a while, I'll come up with like a Cappy Dick fun fact, and I'll say, "Where the hell did that come from?" I don't know, but that's
You've got a lot of useless facts.
Yeah,
Don't sell
a lot
yourself
of,
short.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So you like a lot of B movies. So I got to ask a question. What are your thoughts on Tucker and Dale versus Evil? Have you seen it? What are your thoughts on it?
My thoughts on it are: should I lie?
No, you shouldn't lie.
Okay, then I haven't seen it. There you go.
Well, I was just wondering. So if you haven't seen it, you have to go see it. It's the funniest damn movie.
Yeah.
ever.
What is the call again, Russ?
It's called Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh, okay. I've heard of it. I did.
Yeah, so it was one of those things like we seen it all over the place, and then we seen it on Best Buy, and it was like $5.
Right.
And I was like, maybe I'll pick it up. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. This looks stupid. And so then we get home like one day, and we're like looking around on Netflix on what to watch. And it was at that point in time they weren't adding anything new regularly like they are now. And we're like, we've watched everything, and then like Tucker and Dale versus Evil pops up on there. And I'm like, oh,
on
man.
Netflix, because I'll watch that right after I get over here.
So I'm like, oh man, I guess we're gonna watch this. She's like, we're really fucking watching this movie, my wife, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna watch it. And I've never seen my wife laugh so hard in my life. It was one of the funniest damn movies I've ever seen. And
I swear, I'm watching it after this.
And Trish said, Charlie sounds like I can get behind what you know. Your favorite B movie then?
Favorite B movie, Charlie?
Oh, Forbidden Planet. It's the science fiction Forbidden Planet, and for a horror movie, it's Carnival of Souls.
Okay.
Now I'm talking back in the day when we have nothing we have now. They were very groundbreaking movies. You look at Forbidden Planet, you'll see a lot of the ideas for Star Trek in that. Carnival of Souls, they have little things that scare you that is in mostly every horror movie you'll see. So there you go. Another one that scared the living poops out of me was Invisible Invaders. And the movie was the worst movie, but the premise was, no, I'll tell you why. It was because it was an hour and a half movie, and they had like 40 minutes of file film. because it was about Mars coming down to invade us, but they were invisible and they had to take over the dead bodies. So it was a Night of the Living Dead thing. There was these Martians walking around in dead bodies, and it was pretty eerie. But
Yeah, that is pretty
again,
eerie.
again, they're destroying things, but it's file footage of towns being destroyed and everything like. And their big thing was starring John Carradine, right? And the funniest thing is he gets blown up in like the second scene. Like
Spoilers! You ruined the movie for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's running out right now and buying that movie.
Well, I'm actually interested. I don't get upset over spoilers though, because you can't recreate the experience through words.
No.
So
Yeah.
you know,
Invisible
sounds too
Invaders.
scary for me.
Yeah, no, you don't know how that. Like you're in the dark. You're a kid. You're in the dark, and because you're stupid and you're in the dark and watching this, all of a sudden
No.
these dead bodies come marching across. But like very, and I'm like, all right, lights on, and then traumatized
No.
for 2 days.
No, we live in a society where I work a desk job and people walk by like zombies saying to me, "Hi, how are you?" And they're out the door. I mean, that's frightening to me. I don't know why I put myself through more frightening. And every time that happens, I sometimes I do mutter to myself audibly if someone was near me.
Oh,
I'm
thank
trying
you.
to answer
Thank
your
you, Chris.
question. Like,
Yeah, I'm on a hello person. I'll say thank you, Trish. By the way, I'll check that out. I'm on a hello person, and I will say hello to everybody. And some people just put their heads down, and then I go, "Have a nice day."
Yeah, hello and have a nice day. But the how are you? You have to stay there because you're asking a question.
Yeah.
If you're gonna walk away, then don't ask it. Like I can't.
Well,
I can't. Yeah.
Every waitress in the world will ask you that, but she doesn't really care, right? I know she doesn't really care
They
because
shouldn't.
I always answer her. She goes, "Oh, how's everybody doing?" And I'll look at her and go, "I have this spleen problem, but I'm going to the doctor tomorrow, and he says with this medication it could probably help me." And
That's great.
It's like, and she'll look. And she'll just be like staring like deer in the headlight, like, "Oh my God, did I have to get this table?"
I used to do stuff like that. I gave up.
Yeah.
Like people should say, "I hope you're doing well." That's it.
Yeah.
Just wish people well instead of
Yeah.
asking them. I don't know. And YouTubers too. "Hey guys, how are you?" And they're like, "What?" Like, talk to people. Everything you say should matter. That's just something. Maybe I'm an alien because that doesn't seem to be very popular on this planet. Saying what you mean.
Yeah. Well, St. James, a lot of people will stay and tell you, "You got to come walking around the streets with me," and just say that to anybody. They'll probably stop and say, "Hey, how are you? It's a great morning, huh? It's feeling good." Yeah. It's
Really?
great. I love it here.
Yeah, so now Charlie gets him back when the waitresses ask him how he's doing today. He's like, "Well, I got this persistent cough. It won't go away."
Oh my God.
Or the greatest, one of the greatest lines from Vacation. He has this fungus they haven't identified yet. When Clark wanted to shake hands with the kid, you better not, Clark. He has this fungus they haven't identified yet.
Oh my
I
God.
vaguely remember that. Yeah.
Oh, Danny.
Oh man.
So, Charles, did you ever see the Devil's Carnival?
No, I just told Trish to thank. I just thanked Trish for that, and I'm going to see it. I'll go grab that. I never seen it.
Yeah, and see, Charlie, Invisible Invaders was really scary back then, but now, you can shit on demand, so that may help you out.
Yeah.
You have no fear.
Yeah, you pay extra for that.
You pay extra for that.
Yeah.
People X-lax my pocket, and instead of ingesting it the normal way for slower, I just real fast.
Yeah.
Real fast, 30 seconds goes right in the bloodstream.
Wow.
Self-defense, people. I care about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we care.
It's only because I care.
Yeah, if
Jen, oh my God, I hope you have a book with Jen's. Not only now does she get you healthy, but she keeps you alive.
that's right.
Jen's self-defense book.
Yeah, in the back it says, if you are unable to carry or conceal weapons due to charges, then just carry X-Lax in your pocket, because shit on demand works every time.
Yes,
Exactly.
there you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
And it respects this whole gun, doesn't get into the mishigas with the NRA and the guns, whatever.
X-Lax, that's it.
Whatever.
X-Lax, yeah, for sure.
So, Jen, you mentioned that you're into comedy as one of your things. You're into health and comedy. So,
Yes.
as far as the comedy side, what do you do with that?
Well, that's just my natural way of being ever since I was little. I literally asked my dad, what's that feeling when you go, that ha, ha, ha? What is that ha, ha, ha? And it feels good. And my dad said, oh, that's laughter. So that's just, my way of being. But professionally, I recently found to stand up. I had a show at a place called Governors at McGuire's Friday. Governors is a big comedy club in Long Island in New York. So now I'm doing it professionally. And I'll stop when people stop asking me to. That's just the way I did it. So,
And she's very good at it. She's very good at it. I've seen Jen perform.
I've done some bad ones at the very, very beginning, but I'm getting some pretty cool feedback lately. So, yeah, I don't know. It's subjective. It's pretty out there, though. It's pretty out there, weird, goofy stuff. I hear it pushes limits. That's what I was told on Friday. Some stuff that really jumps over the edge. Okay, I guess so. It was originally a lot of jokes about my ex-boyfriend who I didn't see for 6 months, and he's very good with comedy, like on a professional level. So I texted him, I'll pay you $5 to look over 5 minutes. So he ended up coming by, and then he's like, he helped me write a lot for my first show. Like 80% of the jokes were about him. We had broken up, and he goes, oh, I didn't know I was going to write jokes making fun of myself. And they're still in my act. I make fun of him like crazy. And he actually helped write them, months back. It's pretty funny.
That's hilarious.
Pretty funny. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're completely ripping him apart, and he's helping me write them for a show.
Hey,
nice
it's never better than when you can make fun of yourself, right?
Exactly. It's not done from a malicious place. They're not like malicious jokes,
Yeah. No, you got to have fun. You got to have a good sense of humor.
Yes, or else we will not get along.
That's right. Yeah. So what about you, Mark? You're being awfully quiet over there. So let's hear a little bit.
That's pretty much what Mark does.
No.
I know, Jen. I was just going for the laugh.
Jeez, come on. Charlie, I thought you were the senior correspondent.
There's not much poop and fart jokes are not my forte. So there's not much I can contribute.
Me neither.
Sorry, I had to run the SOD into the ground, and then Danny had to add
you run the ground, turn it into fertilizer. I get it.
Yeah.
There you go. He'll be here all week. Try the veal.
He'll be here all week. What? Oh my gosh, Dan. Jesus. So, Mark, let's hear a little bit about you, man. What do you bring to the table?
Well, the idea of the show is originally it was to help me get a comic book created, because when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a comic book writer, well, a comic book artist. But I did not know at the time when I was a youngin' that the people who write the stories are the writers, not the artists. So I realized that being the writer was the way to go. And one day I was coming home from the cemetery, and I heard on an announcement in the radio station, "Hey, do you have a passion for a certain project? Do you want to talk with other people in your field? Contact us. You have a radio show." And I'm like, that sounds like a good idea. And that's how I decided to do that. And it actually did help me get my comic book published. So in a roundabout way, it did its job. But as I went along, I realized that the show had legs and a purpose and a reason for existing. And like I said, we've done this for so many years. It's amazing how back then the technology is way different than it is now. Because as we mentioned earlier in the show, how everybody has a podcast, everybody has a show now. But back then, it was a lot of work and a lot of effort to have an actual show. And then since we are still on the air on a radio show, that does make a difference. So
yeah, you got to keep up with all the changing laws and the changing restrictions and what you can and can't do, and
Exactly.
it changes on a daily basis. So if you don't stay on top of it, then you get a whole lot of legal trouble coming your way.
True.
And so now we cover film festivals. We just started off just talking about comics. We expanded to covering film festivals, covering conventions. Film festivals, that's something that was a new thing for us. Well, new, I say new, like I said, it's been over 17 years. So new would be the past 10 years. I mean, I don't think we did much film festival until Charlie came along. And then we had a really big film festival, like the Macabre Fair Film Festival out in Long Island. And it's actually moved to, what is it, Charlie, what is it, Louisiana, Tennessee?
New Orleans, yeah. No, wait. No, Tennessee.
Moved to Tennessee.
Oh.
It's the Macabre Fair Film Festival. And it was by the late, great Elsie Ginsberg. And she made this film festival unlike anything else I've ever seen, where
it was actually like the Academy Awards. It was set up like the Academy Awards. It was great.
For independent filmmakers. And that's what made it amazing. So Charlie and I went to see many a film
Oh, man.
there.
Yeah.
And some were really good and some really weren't so
How many
good.
films you guys sit through?
Holy crap.
My God.
I would say
no,
at least 40.
Yeah.
What?
Because
Yeah.
it's a
40
film festival,
films
so they
in
had
one
like
film festival?
It's a
yeah,
film
because they had
festival.
like shorts and feature
Yeah,
films
Wow.
and yeah, it was
You're going in rooms like me and Mark, like would cross paths. Like, where you going? I want to see this one. I want to see that one. And we would go. And then we went to one where we just wanted a, does anybody have a shrimp fork so I can poke my eyes out? Because it was like going on and on. And when you think something's getting better, like
it doesn't get better.
like Skyline, and it doesn't. It's just.
Yeah, watch
crazy.
the movies I'm in. You'll feel that way. Mark knows.
Oh,
But anyway, Mark, continue.
oh my God, Buddy None too. Oh my God. So we started to expand, and then we covered conventions, and we then as the show was progressing,
Love
I
that
took it
movie.
upon myself that at conventions to go to Artist Alley and try to take as many pictures of the artists that are in the Artist Alley of the convention. So if you go to our Facebook page, you can see anytime we cover a convention, we do we get celebrities, cosplayers, and but I think it's important to get as many of the people that the other media coverage does not do. So I found that was our niche, our calling, which was to put a spotlight on all these independent, not just comic book creators, but filmmakers, artists, actors, and that's how we found Jen, because Jen was an actress in a movie that Charlie was in.
Right.
And she came down to our show, and we interviewed, and we had her on the show as a guest. And I realized that one of the things I find is important for our show is that we don't get too into the geek stuff. And I find that we need a person to keep us grounded for the layman's person. So the fact that Jen doesn't know much about the pop culture stuff, a lot of things that we talk about,
not much.
It's important. So that way the lay person who's listening to the show can be like, oh, I understand her perspective, because she will ask questions that we do not.
I was just going to say that she will ask the questions that everybody wants to hear.
And Charlie, being our senior correspondent, brings that to the table as the senior correspondent. That's stuff that a lot of people don't know about. That's stuff that people may have forgotten about. And he also asks questions that the general audience does not. So my job is to just keep things moving, try to keep it entertaining, keep everybody on track. And then we just cut through to the end of the show. It's an hour show. We do our best to inform, entertain, and enlighten.
Yeah. And we have fun doing it. So
Tricia asked the question that I wanted to ask too. So what comic book did you come out with?
My comic book. There's two books out there in the internet. You can actually find both of them. One is the Phaser Sunburst crossover, which is done by what the hell was that name of that book? Red Zone Girls was the name of the book. It's co-written by Mariano Nesesia, who is Fabian Nesesia's brother, who co-created the New Warriors. We had my character and his character crossed over, which his character is Phaser. A guy called Dave Ryan, he decided to make a comic book series called War of the Independents, where he went out and got as many independent comic book characters and have them have a big fight. He's been working on this book for 15 years. I think he's on issue 6 now. But when he approached me, he said, "Hey, you have a character. Can she be in my book?" So actually, there is a War of Independence, a trading card series, which you can find somewhere out there once again on the internet, and my character's in there as well. The second book is actually being redone. So the first issue had came out in 2008. It was cover art by Francesco, who's most famous for doing Savage She-Dragon, and it was written by myself with art by Jade Smith, and most of the inks is by Peter Palmiotti, which is Demi Palmiotti's brother. It's a 110-page story. Only the first issue ever got published, and it is out there somewhere, but we're rebranding it and going to be under Apex Comics Group. That is a comic that's going to be coming out eventually once it gets finished inking, because we only got the first 22 pages inked and the book got done. I actually am going to be part of San Diego Comic-Con Online. I actually went down there in 2018 to promote the book at a panel. And so we're having a virtual panel for the San Diego Comic-Con Online for the Apex Comics Group panel. So you can learn more about that. But the book is called Designated. It's about... this was written 100 years ago, so I have to say now it's set in the 90s as opposed to it was written in the 90s. It's set in the 90s about 2 warring alien races and 5 human beings that are caught in a crossover. Red Zone Girls, yes! Oh no, Russ tried to look at Red Zone Girls and the computer just posted a warning that made me...
Make it say virus.
RZG Comics. So yes, 2 warring alien races, and they come to Earth, and these 5 humans get mixed up in the fight, and they get superpowers because of the war when they're trying to go after the Capricious Star, and they get powers because the star is broken up into fragments, and the fragments are implanted into the brains of the humans, which gives them powers.
Wow.
And what's this called again? Designated?
Designated. That's apexcomicsgroup.com. You can actually see the cover,
Now,
the working cover.
Now, a follow-up question for that is, you said that's going to be releasing eventually. Now, is that something that you're going to release through like a Diamond Distributing, or is it something you're going to sell from a website, or are you guys going to kickstart it?
The answer to that question is through Mariano, because Mariano is the publisher, so it's all really on him.
On him and what they do. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I just was wanting to ask that for people that are in the show, because I mean that sounds super interesting to me. It sounds right up my alley. I love sci-fi stuff, so that sounds pretty cool.
It was one of the greatest compliments I ever had when I was at the panel in San Diego in 2018. You know, I mentioned what it was about, and some random stranger after the panel came up to me and he said, "Wow, that's a really cool idea, a really cool story." I was like, "Thanks, stranger. I know nothing about you, yet you appreciated what I had to say about my idea." And it gave me a little validation, because this baby, like I said, it's been since the 90s. It's over 20 years for this project to come out. So it really is, you know, like when you make something and then you leave it alone and you come back to it and you're like, "Oh, I have to change all this stuff."
There you go.
When I came back to it, I read the script and I was critical of myself not remembering everything. And when I read it and I had all these questions and as I kept on reading it, I answered the questions. So I was like, wow, it passed my litmus test. So it makes sense, which was important to me when I made it way back then.
No, I totally feel you, man. This is a project from 10 years ago. I wrote it in 2010, and I just recently kickstarted it in March and funded. So I'm in fulfillment now of getting the book out there. But I totally feel you. You know, it's sad. I almost finished it, and then life happened. We had a bunch of tragedies. My son was born, and had open heart surgery, and it just.
I thought you were just going to say my son was born. I thought you were going to start that. Just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, that'll do it right there.
I was like, I hear you. That's what I'm afraid of. So I'm sorry.
No, it's totally true. Kids kill all your hopes and dreams. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Not really.
No, your pictures of your son are very cute.
Thank you. And
Hopefully
so,
he's okay.
no, he's doing okay. So, it was just one of those things, just like you said, you go back and you look at it and it's like, does this still stand up to the test of time? And it's like, you go through it and you're like, man, this is awesome. And, I did a huge rewrite on mine, but, it's really great to see somebody else taking something that they really truly believe in and redoing it again. And I think it sounds phenomenal. Absolutely. I'm excited for it. So I'm definitely going to pick it up when it comes out.
So now it just has to get finished being inked, 88 pages to go, and Mariano will get it colored and then put it out there, and then it'll be a promotion tour.
Tour.
I'll take pictures.
I'll make inappropriate comments.
Jen's going to fulfill her role. She's like, I'm going to make inappropriate comments. I might mention it at a comedy show.
Yeah.
Hey, check out this book that you can shit on demand. The people will go to.
I read this book and I just felt like going.
No, they introduce people will be reading the book, be like, "What is there really shit on demand in this book?" And they'd be like, "I want my money back."
Yes. I read this book and I was cleansed. Yes.
I told you I was going to run it into the ground, Mark. I told you this happened.
I think Mark's going to get hit up by people in QAnon to write for them because he's so inventive. I think they're going to want those qualities for a writer.
Yeah. But I'll tell you one thing. If I see any ads from X-Lax in your books, forget it.
I'm for it. I can't SOD yet, so I need some help. So I'm all for it.
There you go.
We're gonna.
Well, we have a category now, the SOD category.
Yeah, the SOD category. We're gonna set up crowdfunding for Jen. Help her SOD. So
for my safety.
For her safety. Let's see if we can raise some money for it. But, hey, maybe we can get X-Lax to sponsor it.
I'd much rather SOD than run away from fans.
Yeah.
And, running.
Very true.
Running is bad for your knees.
Yeah, but
SOD is good for your colon.
Oh my gosh, Dan, it's one of those books you read on the toilet.
but then you got to get in your car and drive home, Jen. That's a problem.
This is true. I did that once. I have a story about that. I told on a different podcast. It was.
Oh my God!
It was quite terrible.
Hey, when is it quite fun? Never.
No, it's just if you ever go for a colonic, which I don't recommend, but I try all types of things as a health counselor.
Yeah.
Wait a little before leaving the place. Like drink a lot of water. Just wait a little bit before getting in your car. That's what I'll tell you.
Wow.
Here you go.
Yeah. Yep. I drove past the place where it happened a few nights ago in Lindenhurst, right outside Rainbow, and I was like, "Ooh, I remember that night." I had to throw out those Adidas shoes I really liked. They were garbage. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
So here you go. You guys can trade. Here you can give him 2 meals and a fitness lesson, and he's going to show you the pressure point. You can just cancel each other out.
Oh, okay. All right. That sounds valuable.
And the only drop I know going on right now. Oh, thanks, Trish. That's the drop for comicbooksforkids.org.
I ran into those guys in C2E2, which was the last convention I went to before the pandemic.
2019 or 2020?
2020, because it was in March.
Yeah.
It was just before everything shut down. I was there, and I met the guy. And he was a really cool guy who does the comic books for kids.
Yeah, I met him in 2019. We didn't go to 2020 because it was right at the end of February instead of the end of March like it usually is. And I'm like, there is no way. It was way too cold the last year that we went. And then at the time, I was in and out of the hospital because they thought I had cancer and all that other fun stuff. So we ended up canceling everything because I was missing work. But I really sucks that we missed C2E2 last year. But
it was so cold. Oh my God, it was so cold.
Oh, I bet it was. And this year's in December. I'm like, are you guys high? And then like everybody I know is going. So I'm like, I guess we're gonna go. And then now
you stay in the hotel that has the connection, the walkway. Otherwise, you don't go out because good God, it was so cold.
And you better stay at the right hotel that is connected to it. Because see, if you stay at the Hilton, it's connected to McCormick Place, but you have to walk through 2 other buildings to get to the other building. So stay at the Marriott that's actually attached to the building that C2E2 is held in. So that's a fun fact for anybody watching or anybody that ever goes. The Marriott is actually connected to C2E2. The Hilton, you better get those wheelies or a hoverboard because you're going to be going like it's a 2-mile walk almost.
And the worst thing is, like, I was with my artist friend Brian Kong, and he showed me the shortcut, and you have to cut through the parking lot. But when you go to the parking lot, it's cold as all. Cold. I'm like, I don't want to go. I'll walk around.
Oh, here we'll answer it for you. It's cold as all hell. You know, it's bad. See, we tried that. We tried walking the sidewalk because it actually is quicker. It shaves like 10 minutes and probably like a half mile off. Because when I say you have to walk through a building, you go over a bridge and then you go the opposite direction, then down and then back.
Yes.
And then into the. So that's why it's so long. It's not a straight shot and they won't let you walk through. It was terrible. So
and it was my first time ever in Chicago, ever C2E2 with that was a great experience to be like, all right, it's cold. And then the pizza, I was so disappointed.
Really? Why?
Deep dish pizza.
No,
because they're always talking about the deep dish pizza, the Chicago pizza versus New York pizza. And I was like, all right, I got to try this. I was like,
So which one did you go to? Did you go to the one across from the Hilton or did you go to the one uptown?
I don't even know where the hell we went. We just, like I said, my artist friend was the one. He's been there a couple of times. So he's like, all right, let's go here. So we drove and it was like this. It was about 10 to 15 minute drive. And it was very popular.
First one. Yeah, you went to the
very popular place. We had to wait for sitting, and it was like standing room only. It was just like a big mob, and I was like, "Holy crap!" And like, and then they told me that most people only eat the deep dish as like a touristy thing. The Chicagoans don't even really eat the deep dish. They eat the regular pizza. I was like, "Oh, I guess it's like New York. You come and you eat the New York stuff, but most people who live in New York don't eat that stuff."
Yeah, like going to the Empire State Building, like. Does anyone really want to go to the Empire State Building?
I have never been to the Empire State Building yet. I've walked by it. I'm like, oh, there it is.
Well,
like the ferry. There's a lot of things New Yorkers do.
Yeah.
Times Square. God, you got to kill me to go to Times Square.
No, the city's great. I've been to the Empire State Building when it costs nothing to walk in, take the elevator, and go up to the observation. Now you have people dressed up outside selling you different plans to go in. It's crazy. It's like now I don't want to even go there.
Oh, thanks, man.
That's very nice.
No, he's not. No.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, Jen. Yeah, he's great.
He is great. I wish more people were like that. On time. He's got the links that work. He's organized. He doesn't have spelling errors. Spelling errors is a real problem that a lot of people have. That's it. I'm not working with someone who doesn't know they're yours and yours and theirs and theirs. Like, no, he's got that down.
We always say, Mark, without like. We'd still have a show, but it would be the most chaotic show in the world. Mark has it all together, and like I won't even deal with the news. Mark has that, like that's perfection with Mark with the news, and it's amazing the way he does that. And I wouldn't even. One day he says, "Open the show with the news." I said, "No, ain't gonna do that." Because Mark does it and. It's as far as I'm concerned, he's the only one that can do that.
Well, I mean, the show has evolved from when we first started to now. I mean, with each new co-host or rotating guest, we have different things, and then when we hit the pandemic, that really changed a lot for the show. Yeah. Right now, it's kind of a guerrilla style thing because we're doing it virtually as opposed to doing it in the studio, the Grindhouse radio studio that we're doing it in,
which is right across from Governor's, where Jen is going to be at.
In Long Island, New York. You gotta mention that because we're online. We're worldwide right now. So originally we had it was a half-hour show. We had the news segment, which was just basically what was going on in the world, and then so he was talking about the other Mark, not me, Mark.
Oh,
yeah. So all that love is now taken away.
Yeah, I take it back. I was just trying to agree with our guests.
As we said, Mark Weiss.
Yeah. So
just took the wind right out of his sails. Way to go, Dave.
Yeah, it just. So
I have that much power.
There you go.
The format now is we do a news segment. And actually, the news segment is the actual show, just to get people acquainted with who we are and what we talk about and what's going on in the world and our opinions on some nonsense. We used to end the news segment with the sad news, but my original co-host Hassan Godwin, who's on Rogue Wave, if you guys are paying attention, he said that you should start with the sad news because that way you have no place to go but up. Because he's like, we used to do it, then we had the sad news, and we used to take a break. And he's like, if you verse it, it changes the whole format of the show. And I'm like, all right, let's do that. So that's what we do. And then we have usually we have a guest, or we have Pronto Comics has a comic pick of the week, so it's independent. Each week he mentions something that people should check out. We have an interview for 10 to 15 minutes. We also have a new segment that we've been only for the pandemic. It's a father and daughter team called Jay Bird and Lee, and they talk about things in their world. The father is a filmmaker in his own right. That's Lee Klinsley. Charlie, you know him, and his daughter. And they talk about, they have a 5-minute segment talking about what interests for a 14-year-old kid, a 15-year-old kid. And then they banter back and forth. So that's how the show is now. So it's very different than what we did in the studio, because it was just an hour straight live. We just go.
Yeah, I like the segments.
It makes it easier for everybody. What platforms is the show on? Well, I'm glad you asked.
Oh my God, million.
We are on.
Why don't you tell them, Sybil?
We are on 88.1 FM WARY in Westchester County, New York. If you don't live there, you can hear us online every Wednesday at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on sci-fi.radio. Then on Thursdays, you can listen to us at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on btdradio.com. On Fridays, we're on at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on indievolt.com. On Saturdays and Sundays, we're on 9 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time on goodtalkradio.com. And if you just want to listen to us on demand, you can Google It Came From the Radio on your internet, and you can find us. We are on over 40 different podcast places: iHeart, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify. If you have a podcast thing, you just type us in. We are there. You can find us. Just Google It Came From the Radio.
And for those of you that weren't there, what was you were having on, the Horseman?
The Conspiracy Horsemen are this week. And there's also a video component that's uncensored. So you can see what they look like.
Well, actually, like I said, the uncensored version is going to be on the digital versions, but on the air will be the censored version. Lots of Jen saying "but."
I like it.
So what is the next con that you guys plan on going to? I know you said that the C2E2 was the last con you went to, Mark. Are you guys going to do cons again this year? Are you going to wait it out until next year?
We have, we know a lot of convention organizers in New York, and we've actually had tables at a couple places. I know that we're probably not going to have a table at any show this year, but I know Jen and Charlie are going to be covering the CradleCon, which is going to be on July
17th and 18th.
Yes, they're going to be covering that, so you'll be able to see them covering the event.
Interested, guys. Much love to you going to bed. Got at least one new follower. Nice to meet you all.
Thanks,
cool.
Trish.
Thanks, Trish.
We'll have to look into see what you're all about, Trish. Thanks for watching.
They're all about sharing everyone's cool stuff. And Mike, her husband, is working on a book with Chuck Minow that he'll be releasing in the near future. So I don't want to spoil anything about it. I won't say it if she wants to say what it is. I leave that up to them. I don't like to be the spoiler person that's like, hey, you let the cat out of the bag. That was privy information.
Yeah, because now as a spoiler, no one's going to buy it.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Sneak preview.
Sneak preview. So do you guys have a timeline on when the Designated is going to be released, Mark? So, but you're just basically once the inks are done.
Yeah, once the inks are done, then it's all on Mariano. I know he wants it to be colored, and that's on his end. But I always envision, for some reason, whenever I write my comics or I think of that stuff, it's always in black and white. So I never really think of colors. So I'm actually kind of interested to see what it's going to look like when it's colored. But that's still a ways off. So it's, right now, the meat and potatoes is getting the inks done. And Pete, an inker, does at best 2 pages a day. That's like if he's on high end for inks. So you have to look and consider that he's also doing other projects right now.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky.
And you've got
if I get
88 more pages.
Yeah, I'm lucky if I get a page a day. I'm lucky if I get a page a week.
And Jen, where can everyone find you as far as like the health stuff goes?
Well, I have my health guidebook, which I keep top secret, but I have my website, thelifewithjenergy.com, which does have public pages on how to beat an infection without antibiotics, and that's very informative. So thelifewithjenergy.com. Otherwise, just look up Jenny Feldy, and you'll find that on Instagram, Facebook, and I got it all listed. I gotta type it out. I feel like it's a lot. It's a mouthful, right? We have the Life with Genergy Instagram, Life with Genergy Twitter. Just too many names. I'm everywhere.
Yeah. So just type in Jenny Feldy and it'll
Yeah.
take you to everything you need to have.
And then Facebook has everything. Has a list of everything. I like my list. Yeah.
But you're also doing some virtual comedy shows, right?
No more virtual. The world's
They're all
kind
done.
of open. Yeah. Virtual's pretty much done for me. Some people are still doing it. But I got live shows coming up. I'm trying to stay local in Long Island. And then Florida shows hopefully in the winter.
And what about you, Charlie? What do you got going on?
You can find me walking around St. James asking people how they're doing. And telling my dog not to bark, but that doesn't work. No, I'm good.
Well, aren't you also a producer?
Yes, I have the Kate. I'm an associate producer on the DPopp show, which you can find on Facebook, and that's about it. Yeah, DPopp show, and it came from the radio. And if anybody needs a photographer, don't call me. I don't know what I'm doing with that. No.
I was waiting for it.
All the pictures, right behind me is my convention wall. So when we went to conventions, so I'm looking forward to getting back to the conventions and stuff. And if you do want to get in touch with me, check out my Facebook page.
What if they want? What if they want you to marry them?
If a what?
If they want you to marry them?
No. Are you kidding me? No. What?
You said you were a minister. You marry people. You don't.
Oh, I thought if they want to marry me. No,
not to marry you, to get married by you.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my God!
He's like, no.
It's not a dating show.
Charlie's like, there's no way that I'm admitting.
There's no way I got this nice home.
My God.
Yeah, I'm a minister. If you want me to marry you.
Me too.
Marry you. Yeah, and Jen is too. That's why I don't mention it. Me and Jen.
Yeah,
that's it.
But we got different flavors, I mean, I have a lot of anti-marriage jokes, so I think it's a little weird for me to be marrying anyone. I look forward. I got one question, but they never came back. I don't know why.
There you go.
I don't think I'm going to be too popular amongst the marrying people crowd, but you never know one day.
And
I love it too.
Very interested.
And I love it too because he mentions, he's like, well, you can find me walking around St. James asking people how they are and telling my dog to be quiet. And the dog's been quiet the whole time. And he starts growling and he's like barking. He's like, what, you talking about me?
Yeah.
Aw.
That always happens during our show. Oh my God. The guy upstairs, my landlord decides to walk down the stairs when we're on our show, and that's it. Game over.
Dog's like, I'm going to tear you up, buddy.
Dog is doing her job, That's how, she feels that I feed her for free. She has to do something. So she barks. There you go.
What is that? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I've never heard of that either. I'm confused.
Jen, do you know what that is?
No.
I mean, is that getting married the second time?
Marriage 2.0? No, I've never heard of it.
So you
Tell
get
us.
remarried?
Marriage 2.0? Yeah, I would think of it as your second marriage, or...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I don't know. I mean, nowadays we have trends of people marrying themselves. Isn't that like a thing?
What?
I identify as a married man. That's true. So who knows what people are up to?
Wow. I've
Danny
never
D,
heard
tell
that.
us. I want to
You
know.
just like
I'll
destroyed
tell
my
you
whole
something.
world.
I'll tell you something. I don't know what that means. I don't know what. Chico, you know what that means? No, hey, you want to, kids, come here. You want to see this guy get slapped? He's married 2.0. Look. I know.
He's about to get turkey slapped.
Look at this kid about to get turkey slapped.
That's
you
fine.
go.
Dark meat
Oh
or
my
white
God.
meat?
I know sometime tomorrow, I'll be walking around at work and somebody's going to piss me off and I'm going to say, oh, come here, let me turkey slap you. You
See, it
know?
explains how it used to be based on love, but it
Oh.
shifted the assets and the courts involved with marriage.
Ah.
Oh, look at that.
So basically,
So, a marriage of
marriage
convenience.
2.0.
A marriage
Yeah,
of convenience,
convenience
yeah.
or necessity.
Yes.
So better
That's
for
like-
taxes.
That's like when I wanted to become a citizen. I'm married 2.0. That's what I did.
I might get gay married just for benefits of taxes.
Yeah, I thought about it for car insurance. I had an old boyfriend. I was like, oh, when I just marry you, you'll save a few $100s a month on car insurance.
Or maybe get one of those mail order brides. Always wanted one of those.
Really?
Yeah. They pay you to marry them, and then they come into the country.
Oh, right.
Oh,
I forgot
gee.
that detail.
Now that you told the whole government you're going to do that,
Right?
great move, Mark. They'll
Yeah.
never find me.
And Charlie's dog said it's a no for
Yeah,
that one.
yeah,
In case
yeah.
you missed that, he's like, no, or she.
Yeah.
No.
They'll never find me. Yes, they will, Mark. All they have to do is Google. It came from the radio.
What if she doesn't like you doing your radio show, Mark? What if she's jealous or she's one of these wives that's like, I don't know who you're talking to on the radio. You talk to all these people. I get jealous. Like, what if she? What
Are
if
you
she tells her to
practicing?
stop?
Is that what she sounds like?
I'm just imagining that's what she would. That's the kind of problems you'd run into. She gets jealous of all of your fame.
Well,
She's
it's
She's talking to her family back home. She's like, I think he's a spy.
Or she'd be like, it's so
He's
cool.
on
I'm
there
married to
talking
a celebrity.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be married to a celebrity.
Or the worst case scenario comes over. Hi, my name's Gina.
Or the age. That was
Oh.
a real story. Like someone got married from a distance, but the person was like 25 years older. No, it was a family adopted someone, but they adopted someone who was like in their 20s or 30s or 40s, and they thought it was a teenager.
Oh my God.
I can just see it now. We're gonna in 3 months. I'm gonna hop on and be watching. It came from the radio or listening to it, and then all of a sudden, Mark's gonna have a Russian bride. We're gonna
Svetlana.
I think
Svetlana, that's her name. Svetlana.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go out on a limb. I think Mark's going to marry a Japanese girl. Right, Mark?
Really?
You like all that J-pop stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. So this is a interesting segue. So I used to work at a movie theater for 10 years. I started off as a peon. I worked my way up to the projectionist. I was in
Who
charge.
did you have to pee on to move your way up?
Right to the mooch. Good one, Jen. Like that.
Well, he went from a peon to an SOD.
So I used to always
POD. There you go.
I used to always express my love of the attractive woman of the opposite sex. And one day, this lady was coming in, and the kids, because they were younger than me, the kids, my employees, were teasing me that this girl was hitting on me. And my co-manager, she turns to me, she says, "That girl's not Asian. I thought you only like Asians." I'm like, what, are you kidding me? And then I turned to the kids and I said, "Kids, what do I like?" And they all said, "He likes hot."
That's funny. Wait, who were the kids? Where did the kids come into
The
play at
employees.
this?
I call them the kids. So they were the employees.
Oh,
My
I was like, wait,
my
what? Was
underlings.
this child labor? What's going on?
Yeah,
My underling,
he
my-
worked
the-
for Apple.
the staff, the younger.
He likes hot. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
That's the
know.
wrong
So
That's the wrong answer. Now get back to those sewing machines.
So I found it interesting that a lot of people, Charlie, yourself included, will throw out that I specifically like Japanese women. I'm like, no, I like hot women. But I guess it's just that Japanese women I've been around, like, oh, Japanese women are hot.
No,
Do
well,
Japanese women curse a lot?
Oh no, they're very kind.
Yeah, I feel like he needs someone
Yeah.
who's not going to curse because that's going to be a problem.
Well, my ex cursed a lot.
She did. So is that why she's your ex?
That's why she's.
That's
yeah,
not why
yeah,
she's my ex. That is not
She
why.
cursed. I had to give her the X.
Yeah.
I failed the test. That's why she's my ex.
You failed the test?
I failed the test. I
you
did not know.
open her side of the car for her?
Not that test. It was a different
Oh,
test.
okay.
Apparently,
Dumpa.
apparently, I did not realize that there was a test that women give to guys,
Uh-oh.
and I failed that test.
What is it? I'm
And
a
then
man. I
upon-
don't know about it.
And then
I
upon
don't know
telling
about it.
telling the story many a times, they're like, "Oh, how could you not know?" So, the short version is that we were moved in together, and she came to me and she said, "I think we should take a break." Now, apparently, the test is that you're supposed to say, "Guys, listen up. You're supposed to say, oh no, we shouldn't take a break. We want to fight for this relationship and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, we should stick together and work it out." I said,
Oh,
sure.
okay.
Yeah, I said, okay. Apparently, that was not the right thing to say.
What,
That's
Mark,
it?
Mark,
But women tell me
obviously-
that is a test that women give to guys. And it was been
No.
reaffirmed by 90% of women I've spoken to have told me this.
because
Wow.
they felt bad for you. That's why. That's not. First of all, if somebody normally comes up and says to you, you know, let's take a break, unless you're not happy with her, you'll say, sure, why not? I mean, didn't you even think to say why? When did this come? You know, what's this about?
No,
Yeah.
because that's
Tell me,
because we got together kind of in the same way. Hey, Jonathan, you remember Jonathan? He was a guest on a live show.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Jonathan.
So we got together kind of in the same way. It was kind of a
On your
okay.
break? On your break at work?
No. The short version is that this girl, she
Was
really
on a break.
she was really into me, and I did not know she was into me. And we had one of those romantic things that only happen in movies, which
Mhm.
I could not believe had happened. So we were sitting on the couch watching television, and that's all we were doing. We were just sitting watching TV.
Right.
And I had a throw pillow that I used to love, my favorite throw pillow on the couch. I was sitting watching TV, and she pulled the pillow away from me, and I pulled it back because, you know, I was trying to watch TV, and she pulled it again, and so we started wrestling over this pillow,
Huh.
and we fell on top of each other, and
Huh.
I fell on top of her on the floor, like our faces were right in front of each other.
Wow.
And yeah, it was a really one of those things like, holy crap, this happens. This only happens in movies.
It's like
And
American Pie.
And our faces are right together. And you know, she was a cute girl. She was attractive.
Was it apple or cherry?
And I look at her, and in my mind, in my head, I said, wow, this is one of those moments where you're supposed to, you know, if this happens, you're supposed to lean in for the kiss. And I did not do that. I sat up and I was like, hey, you know what's kind of funny? This is just one of those situations in the movies where, you know, you lean in for a kiss. It would not be funny. And then she just flips out and she goes, you know what? I've had it with you. And then she just leans into me and tells me all the things that she had been doing
What?
because she was romantic. She liked me.
Mm-hmm.
And she was telling me all the stuff that she was doing because she liked me. And I was like, I had no idea. I didn't know. And so she's like, you know what? Forget it. And I said, oh, well, if you like me in that way, let's try it out. Let's get together.
Right.
So we just kind of nonchalantly got together. So on the way out, it was kind of nonchalantly, oh, I think we should take a break. Okay. It wasn't like any more thought into it beyond what was going in my head at the time.
See,
So
man,
that's why.
that story took like a huge curve from what I was thinking, because you were talking about it was like in the movies. I was thinking like Tommy Boy, where she sold Callahan brakes or something. Yeah.
Wow, Mark, that's one of the most incredible stories I've ever heard. Oh man,
You've met her, right? You've met my ex Charlie.
maybe you're
See,
the
wait,
mystery man.
so
You're the mystery man, Mark. I could have. I could have. There, I'll call you later. You let me know.
wait a
Oh
second. So
man.
you moved in together, and how many days or hours after that did she say we should take a break?
It's funny you asked that oddly specific question. It
Yes.
was 26 days afterwards, I believe, when we moved together. We were living together for a while. I proposed to her and everything, but when
Okay.
we moved to a new location, and it was 20 something days from the time we moved to that new place to
And you
when
were
she.
engaged?
Yeah, we were engaged for a while. We were engaged for
Oh,
probably, I'm going to say 4 out of the 8 years we were together.
So I'm going to go with the
wow.
swing. I'm going to go with the swingers thing. It never occurred to you to ask why she wanted a
Yeah.
break.
No.
Wow. I'm
Like,
not gonna
let's take
ask
a
you
break. All
that.
right, let's take a break. We'll reassess and see where things are. Okay. It
And
just
did you
didn't occur.
reassess at any point?
Actually, it's funny you mention that. This is Mark Torres' life on women.
I like it. I like it.
So something had happened where I reassessed, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting back together with her.
Really? You reassessed and you're like, no, I can't.
Yeah, and then we're
How
still
many days
friends.
after the break did you assess that and figure that out?
I'm gonna say it was maybe like 3 weeks, I believe, maybe 3 more weeks afterwards.
Now I'm really curious what happened that made you be like, because I only have maybe one person where I'm like, no, like I can't. Like a friend, like I'm fine with any ex of mine is fine, but like there has to be like some crazy disrespect and like unwellness to like be like, nah,
But
I'm
no,
not coming back.
but no, she's a good person. She's still my friend.
But
I
not for
talked to
you.
her. Right. It's just not meant to be.
Wow. I'm so curious about that. I'm also curious, but I'm not going to ask you what the intimacy was like in the 26 days after moving in. And also if she got nitpicky with you, because I've been on every side of cheating, not much, none of it really in a very long time. But I know when I've met someone else, I'll get like kind of nitpicky with the person I'm with, being like, 'cause you're just like, I'm just so annoyed that they're in the way of me being with someone I like better. Just like, oh, can you just get out of the way, or just be awesome, make me forget about them,
My
I
big
don't know.
question. My big question
Yes.
is
I didn't know this was therapy. Again.
no.
How did we get here? How did we get here?
Because this is very interesting.
It's so interesting.
Oh my God!
you
Because
opened a can of worms.
Russ,
with
I
this.
gotta tell you, we know very little about Mark. He's
What are
very,
you talking
very
about? You know a lot
private.
about
Oh,
me.
shut up, Mark! You're very private.
Yeah.
So
Geez, Mark, we
anyway,
don't even know what you look like. You're hiding behind
Yeah.
the icon.
That's
If you go to our Facebook page, you see plenty of pictures.
no,
of me.
actually, when you
fine.
come to the studio, that is Mark. He's the emblem.
Well,
But
if you go to our YouTube page, you can see
Yeah, therefore
a lot
you
of
should feel
behind.
very free to speak freely because you're not even, you're under the radar. So you should just say anything.
it's like Mark. My question to you is because my brain is so far out there, but I need to know this. After, have you had any more great pillow fights?
I with her.
It's go. Mark.
I need you to be. The question is too
Is
obtuse. You need to
the
be
way-
more specific with your questions.
Usually, normal guys, when they want to kiss a girl, they'll lean in and kiss. Mark, do you have pillow fights before that kiss? I need to
Remember,
know.
I didn't kiss her that time. I that's why she flipped out. That's why
Right.
she got mad at me.
But then you learn that, if you lean in after
I
a pillow fight,
learned that if that situation ever happens again, which is a 1 in a million situation, to go for the kiss. I've learned that. Yes.
Okay, just asking.
I'm
Yeah, if
just
someone starts
confused. Like
pulling a pillow away from
Poor,
you, it's
poor
like,
Russ is like, when did I lose control of the pillow?
sorry, man. I know you want to talk about
I'm
Star
just
Wars.
stuck on 8 years. I'm like 8 years, 4 years together, and then 4 years proposed and
And it's
engaged.
something. And then another theory. So like a third number theory, 3 or 4 would be you're so easygoing, and this girl needs someone who's gonna like make a move because that was the problem in the beginning. She tried and tried and tried, and she like flipped out. So maybe this was like you like that's why I asked about the intimacy. Like maybe you weren't like maybe she's kind of needy. Maybe she needed like more attention or something, and then she's like, I'll get his attention. I'll like say I'm gonna leave because I've definitely done that at some point. Like, oh, I gotta leave or whatever. Like, just in any sense, like people think you're leaving. Even my own dog, she's like, oh, don't leave, and it's like you just ignored me for the last 20 minutes. Now you're all like, so maybe she thought you were gonna get all excited if she's like, I'm leaving or we need to take a break. I don't know.
Now she
I don't know.
just wanted him to pull the trigger and plan the wedding and
Maybe.
start having babies.
And you're like,
Maybe
no, we can't take a break. We're gonna have children together or something. But you're so easygoing that maybe,
Like I said, I failed the test. I failed the test.
Mark
interesting.
Mark is a good guy. He figured, if you want a break, all right, there you go. If
Right.
you're not happy, if you're asking that you probably wanted, so okay.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Mark was like, the state requires that everyone gets a break, so here you go. Here's your 30-minute break.
Mark is respectful and he gives the people what they want, and that actually backfired by not giving an individual what they wanted in this case, perhaps.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I guess if I want like more airtime or something, or I want more attention from the show, I shouldn't be like, whatever, Mark, I'm leaving. Like, I'm a big shot comic now. I have so many shows booked. Like, I don't think I can do your show anymore. Like I'm just getting booked left and right on all these movies. Like, that's not going to get me any further.
That wouldn't. No. I'd be like, okay, you want out?
Yeah.
You'd be like, all right, see you later.
Yeah. All right. They'll give you the big thank-you-this. That's it.
Exactly.
We went through many show hosts, co-hosts. Let's see. I think we had. I'll say. I'll go. I'll say probably 10 co-hosts.
Wow.
From the very beginning to now.
I wonder how many were just testing you and how many really wanted to go. And you're like, all right, you want to go? You want to
go? I'm just surprised Charlie didn't ask. And so I have to ask, who got the pillow that you originally had the pillow fight? Did she take it or do you still have it?
Oh.
Wow. I would have to say that pillow is in storage. So I have the pillow.
It's in storage?
Yes. My favorite pillow is in storage.
He can't fight with it. Nobody will.
Maybe you should bring it out. Like kind of like a love potion number 9. Like if you feel like you're in the mood for meeting someone new, like you bring out the pillow and then the pillow vaporizes this woman who's Japanese or maybe she is not and she's agreeable and she doesn't curse and she tries to pull a pillow away from you and you're like, I haven't seen this, it's in storage. And then she's like, no. I think that's what'll happen.
Jen, you just wrote a Hallmark movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Instead of being like Charlie walking around St. James saying hi to everybody, Mark's gonna be walking around smoking all the hot girls in the face with this special pillow. Nope, she's not the one. She called 911.
Yeah.
Crazy dude walking around.
She would have kissed me if she didn't have that swollen lip I just gave her.
That's a cool comic book, though. A little comic idea. I can see like someone that wants love, and then they bring out the pillow, and they just try to get anyone to sit next to them on a couch wearing a pillow.
The love pillow, or we can write a comic book of turkeys carrying the pillow around and
turkey slapping everybody.
No, pillow slapping for turkeys.
Yeah,
it could be a book, right?
Yeah,
there you go.
We could do that. I like turkey. All you gotta do is throw pillows around. Like that's a lot cheaper than how food's expensive.
Yeah,
definitely.
And we can make it anime style and make it like turkey slapping knees.
Was a movie in the 50s called a very popular movie with Doris Day and Rock Hudson called Pillow Talk.
Oh,
Mark,
right.
We could redo that and call it Pillow Fight.
That actually would be entertaining. I like it. I'm a fan of this whole story. I really am.
Jen, write that. We're going to Hallmark with it. I'm telling you.
Oh my God. Now the pillow, is it going to be made out of vegan, biodegradable, trans, family-friendly material? Just with different
Well,
genders, fibers from different
right.
genders of llama.
It's a multi-gender pillow, right? It's a multi-gender pillow, and it'll be made out of that fabric that when you lay on it, it's like impresses your face or, whatever that is.
The memory foam.
Memory foam. Thank
Oh,
you.
that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
A
Okay.
biodegradable memory foam.
That's what the
Yeah.
pillow will be made of, so everyone approves. Someone just said I'm letting out all the secrets of females. I mean, actually, yeah, I probably did let out some secrets of females tonight. I did, but I do not have the typical female perspective. If you pay attention to anything I say, it's really not normal.
This is
But
true.
tonight will be right.
I learned that from the last show that we were guests on about all
How?
your you were mentioning all your you mentioned it. I
Your
listened.
genisms.
I listened.
Oh, well, like marriage things?
All marriage things, all the gift giving things, and
Oh, gift giving, right? I hate gifts.
marriage, and no, you were
Right.
a little on relationship.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I hate gifts, and I don't know women like that. My mom, wants a card. She tears up at a card. Like, I get mad. What are you doing spending your money? If I like you, I don't want you to spend money on this thing that's just going to take up space. Like, oh my God, stop! Please
You
stop.
show your affection, just turkey slamming. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Ben's turkey, like a nice turkey drumstick, Renaissance style. That's a great gift.
Well, I love the Renaissance style. That last part was great.
Yeah, like the Renaissance fairs. You get a turkey, Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Get a turkey and somebody else slaps it for you.
I went all the way there for a turkey drumstick. They didn't have salt. I was really upset. I was like, I can't eat it without salt.
Wait, they don't have salt at the.
I couldn't find salt. I couldn't find salt on the turkey drumstick, and I went like 3 hours out of my way basically for the turkey drumstick. I could have just gone down the street to Ben's. I didn't think of that. This was when I first moved to New
forever
York.
on turkey drumsticks.
Yeah.
I'm forever ruined.
Yeah.
Forever ruined
Yes.
because.
So we went. So we ended up going to Six Flags. So that was our So a bunch of bad shit happened when we went to get married. I've never told this story before, so this will be interesting for the people watching. So we had this trip planned to Jamaica. We were going to stay at Couples Tower Isle, and we had this big honeymoon plan, and we put down money on it. Well, a month before we got married, my wife's car, the engine blew in it. So it was $2,700 to get it fixed. So we couldn't afford to. We could either fix her car or go on our honeymoon. So of course we took the money and got the engine replaced in the car. And
I thought you were going to say, took the money and went to Mexico. I was like, yeah.
So we canceled our honeymoon, and I ended up going back to work. Well, then the week after we got married, I hit a deer that ran down the overpass, ran down the hill right out in front of me on the highway, doing 70. So we had all that stuff happen. So instead of doing a honeymoon, because we had to pay for 2 new cars pretty much, we got Six Flags season passes. Well, my wife gets one of those turkey drumsticks, and we ended up going on the Boss. And this thing's insanely fast, and there's a bunch of corners. It's one of those that's not a steel frame. They actually built it. It's a wood frame coaster, so it when you go around the corner, it's jerks out. And so we get off of it, and she throws up this turkey drumstick all over these little kids. There's 4 or 5 little kids. And so I had to go to the bathroom. So I go in the bathroom. It's right around the corner. And all these kids come in and they're like, ew, there's chunks in it. They were in there trying to
No! I feel like that's a hard thing to throw up, too. She must have eaten a lot that day. Because,
no, well,
I feel like I eat that thing to, wow. I feel like meat kind of just, stays there,
Yeah. Well, she blamed it on me. She's like, I told you my stomach was bothering me, and I didn't want to go on that ride. I mean, she didn't throw up on them. It was just it hit the deck and then splattered on the back of their legs.
Well, you know what? It's okay. I give her a pass because what do humans expect when they voluntarily get on these shakers? You're inside a drink shaker, and you expect that things aren't going to come up and come on. I mean, people are so weird. I don't get those rides either. It's another thing I don't get. I mean, God bless anyone who likes them, and I'm sure it makes a lot of money for the theme parks. But why are you doing this to yourself? Life is scary enough.
Yeah, I don't believe in going off the ground unless I could
Right.
fly. Yeah,
Exactly.
there you go.
I used
So
to like going to amusement parks. Then I stopped because I'm
why'd you
old.
stop?
Because I'm
What
old.
age did you stop? Nah, whatever. You host a comic show. Get over it. You're not old. You talk about
Uh,
comics. You can go to an amusement park. Have fun. Live your life, you know?
Let me see.
Buy a pillow.
I'm gonna say that's
Buy a
live my life.
pillow.
Buy a pillow.
Buy a pillow.
Geez, I'm gonna say 8 years. 8 years, maybe 8, 9 years. I haven't been
Okay.
to an amusement park.
Well, I think you should do it again. I think it would bring some joy to your life.
Nah. The last time I went to an amusement park, I didn't go on any of the rides. I went to the Village People concert,
Oh.
and I was the youngest person in that audience.
Yeah.
I
Well,
could not believe it was me and a whole bunch of Charlies.
that's cool.
As far as the eye could see, I was like, wow, I am way out of my element here.
If the world had more Charlies, I would leave my house more. I don't really care for most people, but if more people, yeah, I mean, come on.
Ah,
But it was a great show. It was a great concert. So, if
Man,
you love the Village People.
This just sounds like a great idea for like a Patreon. Mark could set up this Patreon for follow the pillow, and it just could be him like on a roller coaster with the pillow strapped in next to him, and
Ooh,
just
I like it.
just pictures of him doing different stuff, climbing Mount Everest. He's got the pillow.
That's
Empire
Mark
State
climbing
Building.
Mount Everest.
He's got the Empire State Building. He's holding up the pillow, going up.
I like that a
elevator.
lot. Yeah,
I mean,
I
think
like
we
that a
gotta-
real lot.
I think we got to use that.
Think about it, Mark.
We have a sunburst pillow on our site for sale.
Okay.
Speaking of pillows.
Nice plug, Mark.
Hey.
Yeah, it is a nice plug. I like this idea. You got me thinking. That's why I was a little quiet. I started thinking of lots of ideas like this because I think I've seen one Instagram account where they had some creature, stuffed animal or something, and they put a face on it. I forget what type of thing it is, and they would bring it different places. It was funny.
I know
Like
it
a
was
monkey.
a Flat Stanley. I know that was a thing for a couple of years. Flat Stanley. It was like a car, like a drawing, and it was a piece of paper. It was a drawing of a piece of paper, and they used to put it in different places. And I think it was called Flat Stanley, and they used to put it around, and that was people followed him. Yeah. I don't know whatever happened to Flat Stanley.
It was a piece of paper?
It was a drawing of a guy called Stanley. It was flat, so it was a piece of paper, Flat Stanley.
Maybe I have seen it.
This was when Instagram was just starting, and social media was starting out, and people wanted to do stuff. So that was one of the things that took off was Flat Stanley.
Okay.
Well, wow.
Yeah.
That's
liking
like my neighborhood. Well, I'm not gonna. In some neighborhood, some kids, when I lived in Ozone Park, so all the houses were together. They had little fronts, and there'd be all these, like, it was an Italian neighborhood, so there'd be all these Marys on the half shell. If you don't know what that means, that's the Blessed Mother in that little. Yeah, you know what that is. So I've heard this. I don't know who did it, but some kids stole one lady's Mary on the half shell and took it on a trip to Italy with it and put it by all the big sightseeing things
Oh, cool.
and took pictures and send the lady. They brought it back and it was there, but all the lady got all these cards, cards from all these things with Mary sitting there, like right next to the tree, and it was hysterical. What a freaking idea!
Where are these kids now?
Oh, some of them have radio shows. Some of them, I don't know.
You gotta
I
find
don't know
these
where
kids.
They disappeared into the ether.
I don't know.
Gone forever.
They're gone.
Talent.
They're done. They're done. And there's nothing we could do about it. That's it. But
They sound like people I'd like to be friends with. I like people like that.
Wow. Well, yeah, you
Fun.
may be
Not
friends
that
with
steal
one.
thing.
No. It wasn't.
No.
It was a borrowing thing. It was a borrowing thing. And you get all these postcards with, Mary sending it. Like, wish you were here, bless you.
Yeah, it's great. I'm really inspired. It's not original, but I feel like I'd have a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, no, definitely not original. But I mean,
No.
but it was before those commercials with the traveling gnome, so it was kind of
Interesting.
original. Yeah.
Well, when I get sick of my new Cosby Biden joke, then I'll do that. Then throw in a little politics for you guys.
We'll talk after the show.
I'm campaigning for Cosby Biden, so that's just what's happening. So 2024, we all need sleep. Who's the best at sleep? Bill Cosby, Joe Biden. 2024, tune in.
There you go. I can't
Yeah.
wait for that.
Not political. This is for the betterment of humanity.
Yeah, we're gonna get some sleep.
Yes, we just want to get some sleep. So
You didn't throw yourself on the floor.
I did not, because I have my earphones in. I know you would
Oh.
not like that. No, but you saw my video. Thanks.
I did see the video, yes.
It's really Cosby Biden. So like, no, Cosby Biden. Cosby,
That's
So when did you lose control of the show, Russ?
Yeah.
About a year ago.
I think it. I
right.
think it was when the pillow came in or something like that. He got really quiet with that one, as we did. Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
Mark, I think the next pillow you should get. Like the Rolling Stone pillow, the big lips.
Yes.
That should be your pillow. Because if you're expecting a kiss after that, maybe that's a dead giveaway.
So Danny says the Adventures of In Love with Mark and Pillow reminded me of the TV show it was just based on a radio show, which was called The Adventures of Mark and Brian. I hated that show.
You hated it?
I hated that show because those guys are like two bunch of idiots, and one guy was named Mark. So it used to piss me off all the time. And they were talking about the Adventures of Mark and Brian. I'm like, this is so stupid.
You're like, he's messing up the name Mark. He's messing it up.
Yes, he was.
You're ruining
Wow,
it for Marks everywhere.
I guess I do know one Jen who's totally fugazi, and I'm just like, yeah, like I feel like it's making me look bad. I get it.
Mark.
Well, my ex is Jen.
This is true, but I don't know her.
Yes, you do not know her. It's different Jen.
I'm buying it, Pillow. Had it all wrong.
There you go. See, you learn from Russ show. Russ always a cappy good fun fact in it.
Just buy a pillow, get a girl to sit next to you. Bada bing, bada boom. The rest is history. You're married. That's what's happening.
it.
No, engaged.
Yeah, no breaks.
And remember, don't forget to fall on her.
The deeper the love, the deeper the hate. Run with the show?
Run with the show.
What does that mean?
I think he's talking about the
just go
Mark
with the
and Pillow
flow.
show.
Yes.
Oh.
Just go with the flow.
I'm just thinking of some lyrics for that. Like, I want a guy with a slow pillow. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. You remember that old song? It's like a 90s song. It's older.
Yeah.
An old song in the 90s. Oh, my God.
With a slow hand. Yeah.
Right. And what is it?
touch.
Fast?
Easy touch, slow hand, easy touch.
No,
Like
it's a
that.
different song. They go like a something something and a fast car. It's like and a shh. It's a funny 90s song. It's like I want a guy that, and it's like and a fast car. It's like it goes really slow and I don't.
I have no idea what you're
And
talking
then
about.
that sound effect you made, that's the pillow fight. There you go.
What's the sound? Now we need to find the song. I'm gonna do it later, but
You're writing notes for yourself?
yeah, I just figured I'd try to look it up real quick, but it's not gonna happen.
Note
Too
to
bad.
self.
It's a really funny song in the 90s though, and I feel like it would be such a perfect song to do a parody too.
We'll use it on the next show, Jen.
The song would be like, for Mark's song, would be like, I want a girl who doesn't curse at night. I want a girl who doesn't curse in the morning. I hope she drinks soda with me and likes comics.
That is the worst bio for picking up chicks ever.
I was going to say if I close my eyes, it sounds just like the album. But that's it.
Hilarious.
Oh,
Poor
man.
Mark.
Russ, you have any questions for us?
No, I think we're gonna shut
You're
her
just
down.
like just letting it go, right?
I think
Just
it's a good
let it-
decision.
Yeah, yeah.
After like 90 minutes, I start to go somewhere and be like, all right, I was good for 90 minutes. I was on the ball, but now it's my time.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what happens.
Well, and that's how the shows go. Like I said, I don't ever script questions or anything. I like to go with the flow of the audience and, let the guests take control and have a good time, because that's what it's all about, is getting to know you guys and,
Right.
how you guys are. And, people fall in love with that and they go and check out the show and see what you guys are all about. That's what it's all about. And, it's been a lot of fun, especially, and then, then we made the segue into, like a Dr. Drew show going on here with Love,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, nothing.
It all started with a pillow.
I think we should turn this into a relationship show. That's it. I just decided I'm going to start doing this. This is it.
Oh my God, that would be
You're gonna
so
take
great.
over Russ's show.
Ah! Yep, I just decided. It's my show now, Russ. It's my show now.
And that song, when you find it'll be the theme song for the show.
Are you gonna give out weekly dating tips?
Yes.
Weekly dating tips.
Mark's dating tips.
See, I got it
Bring your own
already.
pillow.
I got the trailer already. Instead of in a
Yeah,
world,
there you
it'll
go.
be,
No,
there
I
was
think
a
tomorrow or even after the show,
World's
I
a
might
pillow.
go live and give relationship tips. I think I'm going to do that
That'd
the
be
second
like-
we wrap.
Visit Mark, BYOP.
Bring your own pillow.
Yeah, thank you.
Charlie, I'm surprised you don't know this story. I've told it many a time.
Mark, you probably told it to other people. You said that, when me and Dom first realized you had a son. You said, I told you this many times ago. And me and Dom were looking at each other going, no, he didn't.
You just forgot.
Yeah, me too. It was a surprise to me too when you said you had a kid. I was like, oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
We'll talk with Jen.
I like it. It might happen now or it might happen tomorrow.
Turn it into an NFT, Jen.
Oh my God, that would be great. That'd be great.
There you go.
And I'll donate. Yeah, listen, I'm trying to do some good things for humanity. So I'm not gonna do stupid stuff with my money. You'll see. I said it on air, so now you're gonna hold me to it. I'm not gonna get 2 cars. Try to do something for humanity. Why not?
There you go.
And myself. But 1 pair of shoes, I'm good. I'll be good, but not like those mega church people. I just heard about mega church. This guy with mansions. Really? I don't know.
Yeah. Send me your money and Jesus.
Oh, right. I'm not supposed
will
to say
hear you,
religion.
yes.
Is that religious? Talk about
No,
mega churches?
no, it's fine. No,
Okay.
no, it's
Technically, it
it's
would
legit
be.
true. Man, it's all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, wow, can you imagine how much money goes into that? It's such a interesting business plan to me.
Well, and then they buy a private airliner, that's like several millions of dollars, and they get questioned about it. And this is the funniest thing ever. They're like, "Well, I bought a used one."
Wow.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That makes all the difference in the world.
That makes all the difference in the world. You bought your own private jet to transport the church people back and forth, but you bought a used one. These millions of dollars that.
But was
Wow.
was it dealer certified used?
Was
That's
it
what it
dealer?
is.
Yeah, did it come with a warranty? If one of the engines goes out, is that covered?
Yeah, it's covered if you
Wow.
survive. Wow.
That's like my mom and daddy got me a pony, but that pony lived with other family first, so it's no big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. It is mine though.
Oh man.
Oh man. I just love these church things. Please don't get me started on this. Oh, amazing. A mega church. We have a mega church, and I can't believe
The chat is still going on with my story over here.
I love it.
I'm
That's
reading
great.
this. I'm like, what the hell?
Jonathan, thank you.
one nice one, Jonathan. One bed short of a pillow. I love that.
I'm glad the peanut gallery is enjoying the woes of my life.
Hey, wait a minute. We got to add on to this, though. It's somewhere there's some hopeless romantic. 1 bed short of a pillow and 1 short box short of a comic collection.
There you go.
See, Jen doesn't know what a short box is.
No, I don't.
I don't even think Charlie knows what a short box is.
Hey, don't make fun of my height.
I was like, one short box.
I am not afraid to say that I do not know what that is.
Yeah.
So when the three of us go to a convention, I will show you what a short box and a long box is,
Okay.
Don't
you'll
get
probably
personal.
and you'll probably see some at the CradleCon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically a short box holds about 150 comics, and then you get a long box that holds about 300.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Oh.
basically the difference between the two. You got
Oh,
one
okay.
one short, and then the other one's like double the length.
And why would we see that at the CradleCon, Mark?
Because they'll sell comic books there.
Yeah, and they'll have them on
And they
tables
have
in
'em
short boxes and
in-
long boxes.
Oh, okay.
You know the little rectangle boxes where people are going through all the comics, Charlie, when they're fingering through? Those.
Sorry, Mark. There was a problem with my earphones. I heard condoms. Sorry.
What? Really?
No, he did not.
I heard condoms. Not comic book.
That's the beauty of being a senior correspondent. You can say stuff like that and get away with it.
Hilarious. Wait, so does everyone that have comic book collections have short boxes and long boxes, or some use like antique bookshelves like I do? Like,
Usually it's for storage and for selling.
okay.
For storage
Okay.
and selling.
Some people use file cabinets. You can get filing cabinets, and then you got them all laid out in the drawers where you can flip
I
through
thought
'em.
this was like sizing lesbians. That's what I thought you were talking about. So I got a little confused, like the size of lesbians, a short box and a long box. But I realized you're talking about storage techniques.
Yeah.
And I don't know many lesbians that use a short box or a long box as a storage technique. Unless maybe they're going to jail.
You know what? Right in. Whoa.
A Mark and A Jen won't work dating.
Why is that?
Yes. This is why.
What's why? What's exactly why?
That you don't know what a long box or a short box is.
Oh, yes. I wouldn't know if it hit me over the head with it, clearly.
Right.
Well, guys, we've been running for a little over 2 hours. I'm going to call it a night. I'm sure you
No!
guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wait, I have to ask you something.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. I said it to my mom like 5 times in a row. An ex-boyfriend used to do it to me. Like, wait, hold on. Like, where I was like, I gotta go. And I'm like, let me go. Just kidding. Yes, we're wrapping up. Thanks for having us.
Oh, no, it's cool. So, yeah, we've been going for 2 hours. We're talking about some cool stuff. We got some dating advice from Mark Torres.
Yes.
We got some of Jenny's comedy added in there. And then we had Charlie, saying obscure things and asking obscure questions, which is, you got to have that obscure question person. So I appreciate you guys being on tonight. We had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this. And I definitely look forward to watching some of your guys' shows. For those of you just joining in, Mark talked about his book, The Designated, that'll be coming out eventually. That's being re-released. So definitely look forward to that one. If you guys want to give one last shout out where people can find you, go ahead, Mark.
I always say the easiest way. Actually, our co-host who was unable to come, he sent me a text. He had some personal situations, but just Google "It Came from the Radio." It's a radio show, an actual radio show. Where a new show is released every week. You can go on any podcast place. You can find us over 40 podcast places. You can find us on 4 online radio stations and 1 terrestrial radio station. We have a YouTube page. We have a new show every month. For a YouTube page, it's a live show which we do courtesy of the East Middle Public Library. That's www.eastmiddle.info. It's always on the second Wednesday of every month. It's a live show. You guys can come in for free, courtesy of the East Middle Public Library. This June 9th is our next live show, and that will be with event coordinator of the Tropic Con, which is a convention in Long Island. Where can we find you guys, Jen?
Just Jenny Feldy on Facebook, Instagram, and The Life with Genergy on Instagram, and The Life with Genergy is my website. And Jenny Feldy on TikTok, just Jenny Feldy.
And me, Facebook, Charlie Saladino, and also the Kate Fox Show. Check that out on Facebook. And of course, as always, it came from the radio.
It did. So, guys, I'm going to kick you back to the green room if you want to hang out for a second so we can chat a little bit after the show. I'm going to close her out. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for
Thanks for
having
having
Chad.
us. Thanks, Chad. Really appreciate you making my life miserable.
Wow.
Wow.
Thanks for having us. That was fun. You're a nice,
Yes.
jolly host. You have a good, like, upbeat presence about you, which is nice. Not everyone does, so thank you for that, and thanks for having us.
Yep, thank you. And like I said, stick around in the green room for just a second. I'll be right back. Peace. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching tonight. We had a great time, a good time with the show. We definitely talked about lots of different things and lots of cool stuff and some dating advice. You know, Jenny helped us out with that, some behind-the-scene things. So, guys, check out their radio show, check out their website, check out their store, buy you a pillow. Maybe Mark will accidentally ship out his lucky pillow, and you could find your lucky soulmate. So that could be a whole advertising thing for that. You know, you could get that special pillow fight pillow. So, guys, thanks a lot for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Dig out the pillow, Mark, for sure. Check out It Came From the Radio, and stay tuned for more information on the designated book that Mark will have coming out. So, as you guys always know, this is Russxplode Studios with projects that'll blow your mind. You guys have a great night.